You are now tuned in to Papi Chulo Radio, your web portal for the best in pop culture news and interviews.
First, we each need to define whether we're a top or bottom.
Well, I, for one, am 100% top.
Of course. Me too.
Who wanted to think up their butthole in the first place?
This is a Papi Chulo Radio special announcement. PapiChuloRadio.com is currently looking to expand its web presence, and we're looking for your help. If you're a fan of Papi Chulo Radio and its signature series, please visit GoFundMe.com/PapiChuloRadio and help us with our campaign. Every dollar amount donated will be improving the Papi Chulo Radio experience and making it more interactive and user-friendly. We thank you in advance for your support. This has been a Papi Chulo Radio special announcement. We now return you to our regularly scheduled programming. The following is a Papi Chulo Radio original program. The views and opinions expressed in the commentaries and/or interviews in the following program are solely those of the individuals and are not views of Papi Chulo Radio, its parent, affiliate, or subsidiary companies.
Welcome to Summer Camp, a PapiChuloRadio.com and iTunes exclusive. Papi Chulo Radio, pop culture on demand. I'm your host and camp director, Maurice Gatewood. Tonight on Summer Camp, we're going to explore some of Hollywood's campiest flicks, cult classic motion pictures, and fan favorite films. Please welcome my co-host, assistant director, Deadly, the hip hop legend. What's going on, Deadly?
What up? What up? Looks like a puto party up in here.
Superstar. Our director of residential life, the man from the future, Legionnaire. What's going on, you?
Yo, what's up, campers? What's happening, people?
Our activity leader, the artist, Vanetta Berry. What's going on, Vanetta?
Hey, y'all. Everything's good.
And always sizzling hot and spicy, serving it up for us, our head chef, Derek Anthony. What's going on, Derek?
I'm just out here eating these souls.
Okay. Some zombie sauce. Some zombie with mole sauce.
They taste best with hot sauce. Sriracha.
Tapatio, not no sriracha.
Sriracha. Before we begin, here is one of our campers on our PA system with a few announcements on how you can interact with us via social media.
Thank you for the intro, and sorry for the microphone feedback. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PCR Summer Camp. Follow us on Tumblr, summercamp-pcr.tumblr.com. Follow Papi Chulo Radio on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube at Papi Chulo Radio. Do you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or concerns? Email us via contact@papichuloradio.com. Help support Papi Chulo Radio financially by visiting GoFundMe.com/PapiChuloRadio. Help support Papi Chulo Radio financially by visiting GoFundMe.com/PapiChuloRadio. Are you interested in joining the Papi Chulo Radio team as an on-air personality or blog contributor? Email talent@PapiChuloRadio.com. Binge listen to your favorite Papi Chulo Radio programs by visiting PapiChuloRadio.com/archives. You can also download tonight's broadcast and the rest of the series through iTunes, Just search for Poppy Chulo Radio Summer Camp and subscribe. Now, grab some popcorn and some snacks. It's time for your feature presentation. Back to you, camp counselors. Oh, not again. Sorry for the feedback.
Thank you. All right, it is time to fire up the film projector so that we can discuss 2010's LA Zombie. Here's the official synopsis of the film. An extraterrestrial zombie who may be a schizophrenic vagrant and whose appearance constantly shifts between that of a corpse, a tusked beast with irregular genitals, and a normal man, emerges from the sea and begins making its way to Los Angeles. A motorist notices the zombie walking along a deserted road, picks it up, and dies in an accident moments later. The zombie recovers from the crash and reanimates the driver by penetrating a wound in the man's chest with its monstrous penis. The ghouls have sex, which ends with the first zombie ejaculating black semen and stumbling away as the motorist sits among the wreckage of his vehicle in awe of what has just transpired. And then other stuff happens.
And then other stuff. He just said other stuff.
Other stuff. All right.
Oh my
So,
god.
who's seen this movie or been in it? Like, who's seen the movie before? Ironically, though, I think. All right, go ahead. Let's start with you, Legionnaire. Had you seen it?
I have not seen this movie before.
Derek?
I had seen this movie before. I am a huge Francois Sagat fan.
Okay.
I had
Vanetta?
No, I had never seen this movie before. Ever.
And Deadly.
Well, the crazy thing is, I'm in it, but I had never seen it. And the director is my good buddy, but he never gave me a copy, and I didn't know where to see that shit. So thanks to Poppy for sending it to me, because I would have never seen my little cameo.
Well, I have I have something for those of you, the one or two people out there who don't know who Deadly is. Deadly played. Describe your character, Deadly.
I don't know what I was listed. Was I listed as like a drug dealer or something?
Yes, you were drug dealer number 2.
Oh, number 2. I didn't even get number 1. Oh, hell no.
Now, see, I don't want to jump like we on the show. We don't actually. It's not a linear experience. Like if you want to jump to,
I think it's okay that you are listed as number 2. That means you're.
But you know what? I wasn't even. It was one of those deals I just gave Bruce a favor, the director, because he called me up. He said, "Oh my God, I'm shooting a scene today. I need a couple gangsters. A couple guys, maybe you and another guy." I'm like, I asked a buddy of mine. He couldn't do it, so he rounded up drug dealer number 1, I guess, and then I showed up, and I said, "I hope there's at least gonna be lunch on set, Bruce."
Some craft services, y'all. Well, I will say this. I was gonna save it for later in the show. I don't know who drug dealer number 1 was.
Mm-hmm.
But drug dealer number 2 looked like a drug dealer. He gave us Thuglicious baby daddy isms,
Yes.
I was giving homage to some Tupac too. You saw my band.
Right. He was giving us some gangster realness. I was feeling it.
Now, drug dealer number 1 was given, and I'm sure he's a wonderful person. I'm sure y'all got along on the set or whatever. But he was giving me meth. Club queen, he was methy, that word I like to say. He was giving you a little like meth club queen, and I was just like, really? I'm like, why didn't they give Deadly the line? Give Deadly that line.
Yeah, and I don't. I think I just threw a line out there because there were no lines, but I made one up.
It's a good thing you did.
I just made one up, but I don't know if you noticed. Like for some reason, they gave me a long rifle, and I didn't know where to stick that rifle.
Because I was like,
don't get us started because this will be a whole show about Deadly's scene. But I was gonna say, Deadly got a big gun, y'all.
Did you see it?
He did have a big gun. I saw that.
And he whipped it out. Well, Deadly whipped it out.
Big gun.
I will say some behind the scenes stuff is all those porno dudes were really nice. They were really cool, and I was there early, or somehow they switched the filming up, so I saw a lot action. We're all up in there getting it on. I was on the sidelines watching. Me and Francois were just kicking it, and for some reason, I'm sitting there. Francois kept on changing his clothes in front of me, so his ass was like an inch from my face. And
nice.
It's a beautiful ass. It was a beautiful ass.
Were you like HR? I don't feel comfortable.
No, I felt very comfortable. I was like, yeah.
Did you need assistance?
So okay, so
yeah.
So we're gonna start in a, since we're gonna, let's just do Deadly's part so we can discuss it. So Deadly, I'm gonna say this, and you're gonna be like, what? So most of the scenes, I thought most of the sex scenes had some sort of association, had some kind of connection, whatever. The one scene that I just thought didn't work in the movie was the one with Matthew Rush in that. The orgy scene just seemed like it was just out of nowhere. It was just like it didn't make any sense to me. So that's why I was so glad when you came and shot them all. I was just like, what was that? It just seemed like all of a sudden, like everything else was kind of artistic, and then all of a sudden there was like a Hot House Media or Raging Stallion scene just plunked down in the middle of the movie.
Now, are you blaming Matthew Rush for that?
No, he's the only one I can remember his name. But I didn't like that scene. And I was just like, wow, I didn't like it. I was so glad when Deadly showed up and shot them all. I was like, yeah. but when they were coming back to life in the blood and stuff, I thought, oh, okay, now that's kind of that was kind of interesting, But you would think, because the four of them, they're like big name porn stars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, one is dead now. I know that.
Eric Rhodes.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, wow, this scene just seems so out of place. But I was like, maybe it was the direction, maybe it was the set with the white in the background and whatever. I was like, I don't know. It just didn't. That scene didn't kind of work for me. And then I was like, why didn't Deadly have a little sex scene?
You know what? I'll give you some more background on it. And I think it could be the director's deal, because sitting back there watching, he had no real direction for those four guys. And they were even like pissed off. I remember at one point they were like, what do you want us to do? It's like there was no direction. And I think that's partly the director's my homeboy, but I think he didn't even really know what to do with them. And then they were kind of like, wait, oh yeah, are we giving full hard on? Are we getting paid extra for that? I mean, they were starting to do technical shit there. Like that shit, all that shit should have been ironed out before,
They were negotiating. They were
negotiating a way to say, you want penetration? More money? You want this? I'm like, oh no, they are not doing all this right before they shoot the scene. Like, they should have figured that shit out.
But it was all that shit out way before. There's one scene they added it, and there was one scene where Matthew Rush kind of looked like he was looking at somebody off camera, like, am I supposed to be sucking somebody's dick right now? It was like, but it was really quick. It looked funny, but
Honestly, it's hard to tell. I am not and have never been a Matthew Rush fan. Watching him have sex is often like watching paint dry.
He's pretty to look at. He is pretty to look at. That has nothing to do. And I've never really seen. I know him more from like modeling pictures and stuff. Like I've never watched a movie with him. I bought a movie. I bought a movie once, a Titan movie that he was in because he was on the cover, and I was like, "Oh wow, Titan's got a hot black guy in it." Yeah, and they wouldn't give me my money back.
Oh,
you know what I really thought would have been hot in that scene if they had because they're all, even though the four of them are all, they all look very similar to me. I would have if they would have put Eddie Diaz in that scene or mixed it up a little bit. Yes, I know Matthew Rush is technically he's African American, but I would have liked them to put a hot Latino boy in there and mix it up. The four of them, they kind of look like
carbon copies.
Yeah.
But again, I think they all worked for the same company.
Yeah.
Which all of their models looked alike.
Yeah. But let's not spend too much time on that one scene because there were other scenes. We're gonna get back to Deadly though. He ain't off the hook yet. We're gonna get back to Deadly. So the movie starts with this preacher coming up out of the up the beach or wherever. Were you surprised at the quality of the presentation, or I'll ask you, Vanetta, what did you think of the body makeup and some of the?
I was impressed in the first scene. I was like, oh, he's in water. It's funny how his bottom half is not painted. And for most of the movie, it bothered me that his bottom half didn't get painted or didn't stay painted, or then it was like some weird stuff going on. And so in my head, I was thinking maybe this was a situation where the body artist could only stay for half the day or only for one day of filming. And so they had like the cuts where they went back and forth where he was, in makeup and then he was a vagrant and those things. I thought that was just, we didn't have enough money to pay the body artist for all the days of filming because the makeup kept changing and there was this weird thing with his hair where there was a serious line that edged out and it was a different color for his head.
Well,
his hair is actually
tattooed.
That's
he has
actually
hair
a permanent
tattoo.
His hair is tattooed on?
Yeah. At one point,
yeah.
He was losing his hair.
So I didn't understand what that was about.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I was just like, well, why wouldn't they just paint his whole head? That's just weird. It bothered me a lot. And then some other things like, there was, he was transferring onto the other actors. That was kind of funny. I kind of picked it apart on that part, and I had to stop looking at the makeup so that I could enjoy the sex of it. That was better. I was like, okay, look, there's a penis. I need to stop looking at the makeup, picking that apart because there.
But did you like his zombie penis? You liked his?
I thought his zombie penis was hilarious and a little frightening. I was like, did they paint his penis? Oh no, that's a prosthetic. That's pretty cool. So that was pretty. I like that idea, and I was like, let's just fuck everybody back alive. That's awesome. Then I wasn't sure whether they were all going to become zombies because they got fucked back alive by the zombie.
But
he's the opposite of what a zombie is.
Right. Well, see, my thing is, he came out of the ocean, and then his penis looked like a dork. A dork is actually what a whale penis is called. And so I wonder if they really should have called the movie like, well, I guess LA Zombie makes it's more catchy, but they couldn't really call it like sea creature of sex, sea creature
Like
or
sea
something.
creature.
Secretions, but
Secretions. I like that.
But the prosthetic penis did look like a whale dork, and I thought that was interesting. Anyone who knows Francois Sagat knows that he's a very pretty man.
Yes, he is.
So I knew that he was not going to stay. I knew with the whole movie with him in that makeup.
But here's my question: could he at least stay naked?
Why did he keep putting his clothes back on?
I didn't understand. Like when the dude picked him up in the Jeep, he was naked. And then when he got in the Jeep, it was like, dude, you cannot get in my car naked.
Like that.
And he had a hoodie on. And then he was sitting in the car, he was naked again.
But
and then after he fucked him alive, he took his clothes.
Right.
He took the boy's clothes. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, I mean, that's the least he could ask for. I mean, come on, shit. He was in the guy, the first guy. I thought the leg that when he had the accident, I thought the leg was done well.
Oh, the mangled
Yeah,
leg.
I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought that leg was done well. It was a shame that boy has such a bad tattoo on his left thigh. It was so bad, and I was like,
it was. I was like,
why
did
did
they put makeup on that?
They should have covered it. It looked horrible, and I was like, what are these guys get? Where do they go to get these tattoos? There were a few bad tattoos in this
There
movie,
were.
but that first one, I noticed that kind of took me out of the scene a little bit. But I thought he was attractive. I thought he was, I thought it was cute. But that initial scene, I don't know about you, but I wasn't sure that Francois' character didn't cause the accident.
Yes, that's what
I thought he.
Yeah, that's not ever made clear.
Yeah, he got in the car. I thought maybe he got in the car and then he attacked him. But apparently the guy picked up somebody that had a terrible accident. That's
right.
That's awful.
But can we talk about just picking people up? Like naked people on the side of the road?
Right.
And then when he gets in the car, then you want to get nervous and shit.
But I mean,
where he clearly looks like he's got some issues.
But that's what I was going to ask you guys. What did you get the impression that he can make himself look like a normal person to other people?
I was not sure. Honest to God, I was not sure what was happening.
Like I thought maybe that he could make, like when he would make himself appear as a homeless person, that he could sort of cast this illusion that he was not a zombie.
Because he kept switching back and forth. Like I said, he got in the Jeep and he was naked when the Jeep pulled up, and then he had his hoodie on when he got in the Jeep.
Right.
And then while he was in the Jeep, he was naked.
I saw that hoodie. Where'd that hoodie come from?
Right.
And where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Where did it go?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I thought that those were just really poor editing choices and director issues. I didn't know that was part of a storyline until you read it just now, because I was like, that was my main criticism. Like, he keeps popping back and forth. Are those flashbacks where he's a vagrant and then he's not, he's a human vagrant, and then he's in this, in the body paint, and then one of the times he was just half painted. He was just half painted.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's very disturbing.
It was distracting. It was so distracting. It was like
because I wanted to see penis, and now you're half painted. Like, what the hell?
funny.
Yeah, because even his wardrobe would change in the middle of a scene, and it's like,
Yes.
okay,
He specifically
he
put
went
on
from
long
the
socks.
white, right? He went from the red flannel shirt to the hoodie to the red flannel shirt to the hoodie to the long socks to the no socks with the legs painted. It's like, I'm stop.
Do you know how many? I know you were only on the set for a day. Do you know how many days they actually shot this?
I'm thinking because Bruce, we were hanging out. I think they probably filmed at least 10 days, probably something like that.
Okay, so maybe it was whatever clothes he brought that day. Maybe they had to cut on a costumer.
I know that
Well,
I don't know if there's a costume person on set, but Joe Castro did all the effects and makeup, and I know that day there was a lot of blood and everything on the day I was filmed, and he was just doing it all by himself. I was like, this little man is doing it all. Dang. So I don't know if it was just him the other days, but
As far as the costumes, mostly everything else was based. Dead Lee brought his own style.
oh, that was my own shit right there.
Yeah, I can, because everything else
I style
did not-
myself.
and that's why yours looked real. You know what I'm saying? It's like the scenes with Santino and those
Tony
guys.
Ward.
Okay,
Tony Ward was in this.
when he crawled in that box with the guy,
Retarded?
That box expanded.
Yeah.
So
That
the
was
guy,
Right.
the guy
the
in the
homeless
box
TARDIS.
was a dead Time Lord who had run out of regeneration because when he crawled in that box, it was bigger on inside.
Now the thing is, that box is like the I Dream of Genie bottle, and also that zombie must not have a sense of smell because, see, I'm thinking more like realistic. I'm like, and this is this is nothing like me being judgmental of anybody, but if you crawled into a box with a homeless person, come on now. They're not going to be all squeaky clean and
He was a necromancer, though.
Yeah.
So, dead smells, he's okay with.
Yeah, I would think that he would. Really,
but I'm wondering what he smelled like. Because he obviously wasn't a zombie like the way, like Walking Dead type zombie, or, he wasn't that kind of zombie. He was a sea creature zombie from outer space.
They had to tell you that.
He was an extraterrestrial zombie.
Because I really did not know what.
I didn't get any of that. I was
Mm.
confused and then disturbed and distracted by his wardrobe changes. It was so deliberate. Why put on the socks? And then the next scene, you don't have them.
You don't
What
have
the
the
hell?
spot.
Put the socks back on. I'm really frustrated you don't have your freaking socks on.
I
And
like
then your
when he
teeth
put
get
the
big.
socks on that time. Didn't you like the time they put the socks on top of the holy socks? Those.
Yes,
Yes.
that was really
Right.
bizarre.
He was very ritualistic about things.
First I
And
fucked the wound, and then I fucked them. That was basically his
the only thing the one makeup thing that I didn't like is like, well, it was a camera shot really. So when they first did Eddie's wound, Eddie Diaz was the black guy that got shot in the head and dumped out of the car. From a distance, it looked like he had a hole in his head. But then they did one scene when they were having sex and they shot him right from the front, and you can tell it was just like not a hole there. It just looked like, someone that used a Sharpie to, paint in it. But from a distance, a lot of the wounds and stuff looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But can we talk about that whole sex scene? Ooh,
That was a good
That
sex.
sex scene was hot. That sex scene
that was
good.
hot. Mm-hmm.
Well, Eddie Diaz does hot sex scenes. But I've seen some of Francois Sagat's in movies. I think I prefer him as a bottom. more than as a top. Yeah.
I think he more bottom material. But you know that penis of his up close, it looks better. It looks big up close. I don't know why the camera just don't show the magnitude.
Mm.
Care to elaborate?
You want me to elaborate?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying because he was over there changing clothes in front of me, and he kept on that butt was in front of me, bent down, the big balls, and he was very like touchy with his stuff, like. And then I think it was one of those deals because that was the day that all those other porno guys were on set. So it was like, who's got the bigger shit? They were all kind of like trying to, outdo each other. Like, look at my shit. Look at my shit.
But don't you think that Francois Sagat is in a different sort of class? I mean, he's been cast in other movies, like other non-porn movies. He's kind of known almost as much more as a model and stuff, more than like just straight porn. He has more of an international. You know what I'm saying? Like those. He does a lot more outside of the porn industry than they do. They may have been competitive with him, but I don't think he's in that. I don't think he's in the same sort of category with them. And I was kind of glad that he wasn't in that scene with them too.
Right.
Yeah.
He was creeping outside the window.
He was watching.
That was another weird piece.
What is this? He claims to not be Middle Eastern. He's French. He claims to not be Middle Eastern. He looks very Middle Eastern, but he claims not to be. I'm not sure why. He does have a star and the star and the sickle tattoo. Someone asked him about it. He said, "Oh, I just admire Arab men." There are some movies with him that are like not studio movies. He tends to lean towards Middle Eastern and black men.
Yes, he does.
But of course, when you're working for the big studio, you're going to work with whoever they try to pair you up with. But I'm like, is he really not Middle Eastern? Because he doesn't, I mean, would that be a liability in the porn industry?
No, I wouldn't see. I don't know why.
I mean. I don't know. I just thought it was interesting because I'd always assumed that he was maybe Algerian or North African or Middle Eastern or something like that. Do you remember Quentin Elias? Do you remember Quentin? He was in a boy band and then he didn't do like hardcore porn, but he did some like gay, solo movies and stuff. And he was North African. And he kind of reminded me of him. Somewhat. But I mean, I guess that's not important, but I just thought it was odd. So we have him moving on to the two business guys. I guess they were drug dealers, or were they had a suitcase full of money? I wasn't sure what they were, but they were dressed identically.
They were ne'er-do-wells.
But they were dressed identically. I mean, they had the exact same outfit on. I thought whoever did that, they should have, given one a different color tie, but maybe they worked for the same. They obviously worked. They looked like they worked for the same place, but they were having a disagreement with how something was going on. But that scene, I thought that was a hot sex scene. I thought that was a hot sex scene between him and the guy in front of the graffiti and stuff. Well, some of those scenes. What time in the morning did they have to shoot those scenes where people wouldn't walk
That's
up?
what I was wondering. Like, y'all don't have any scenes indoors except the last scene.
And let me tell you something. I know Bruce LaBruce. He did not get permits. He didn't do none of that shit. He just gangster. He just rolled gangster with his filming, and he just go out there and start doing it.
Crazy.
Yeah. So he just gangster with that shit, because he's all prepared to. He said, "Okay, if the cops come by, just say we're students." I'm like, okay.
Wow.
Y'all some old ass students, but okay.
Right?
We graduate students. But see, I would worry before about poor Dad Lee, because everybody else don't look like they, you know. And Dad Lee coming in looking authentic, and they would have shot him.
There were some good locations, though. I did like, the thing with Bruce, he does know LA because he's always there, and he loves LA. So, he got the LA River and some other spots that were just cool, man. And if you ever seen Hustler White, another one of his movies, he captures some good parts of LA. He just knows what to shoot.
Is that donut shop?
That donut shop is in my hood. It's a block away from me.
Really? Is that the same donut shop that was in Dope?
No. That wasn't the same donut shop, I don't think. Was it? Mm-hmm. But Dope was supposed to take place in Inglewood, but I'll have to look at Dope again. I didn't, because that donut shop was in Echo Park right by me, so I don't.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I thought the music was good. I thought a lot of the orchestrated music and stuff, like that cello solo in the beginning, like when he came out and stuff. I thought the musician. I don't know who he got to play. I always listen to strings and stuff, and I liked that the sex scenes had the sort of electronica, sort of ambient electronica, rather than
hear all of it. Yes.
And that you didn't have the, I don't know if you've ever seen, like Vanetta, there's a particular type of gay porn, like the Hot House or Titan Media, and that I don't really watch that kind of porn because it's all, yeah. Suck my cock, yeah. Give me that cock, yeah.
I was so grateful that wasn't.
So you just don't like no noise during sex at all?
I don't like it when it sounds like loud.
I don't like it when it sounds manufactured. No.
When it sounds like the high school football or for jock fraternity. Yeah, suck my hard cock. Yeah, hard. Give me your hard fuck. It's just like, oh my god, that's like,
It reminds me of Orgasmo when it's like that, where it's just like you can tell that they're lines instead of it just being something that they would normally say.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
right.
I appreciate it also, again, watching it with my kids around. So I was like, yes. No, they're not going to come in here. They're going to think I'm watching some artsy film. They ignored me all day. It was beautiful until I was watching The Flash, and they're like, "What are you watching?"
But I did like that there wasn't that much dialogue. It was just kind of refreshing a little bit. It was just nice seeing shots and music, and
penises.
I thought I wouldn't like it because I'm
penises
dragging on, but it was cool.
Appreciate the penises.
Who was the second?
Okay. Hey, wait a second. Let's talk to girl. Now tell me those weren't better dick sucking than some other movie we reviewed recently.
Those were excellent dick sucks, and I was taking notes, and I was like, oh, that's nice.
See that?
I like to be able to learn from a blowjob.
So it's an opening of the throat. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when he took that whole, he deep-throated that whole penis, I was like, that's impressive. I like that. I'm going to use that. Yeah. By the way, today is Steak and BJ Day. If you guys get a chance to go and give a steak and give a BJ.
What?
I've done my duty.
All righty.
I don't even know what that means. Okay.
Wait, you need to elaborate. Wait, you got to make your man a steak and then you get him a blowjob or what?
No, so it's the straight boys' answer to Valentine's Day. They feel like they shell out so much money for Valentine's Day and they don't get anything in return. So someone came up with this idea of a month later, you can have a steak and BJ day. And so the girls go and buy the guy a steak and give a BJ. I don't eat steak. I'm a vegetarian. So I just give out BJs. It's fine.
Wow. Okay.
Picking up tips
that.
from the zombie movie.
Funny.
Like, oh, I'm going to do that one next time.
Funny.
Like, where'd you learn that? I watched the zombie movie.
You can learn a lot from LA Zombie. How to Tie Your Do-Rag by Jet Li.
Magic condoms.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, wait a second. What's up
just
with the condoms
appeared?
just popping up?
Yes.
I love that. I sent a text to Poppy and said the zombies practice safe sex.
Obviously, they do.
Magic condoms.
They don't want to give you any alien disease.
Shit, that zombie was more worried about getting something from them.
I'm gonna fuck you in your heart, but I ain't gonna give you no STD.
His pure alien DNA probably couldn't take some of that, you know. So, did you get to meet? Did you know Santino Rice when you were doing this?
He was on set that day that I was there. I don't think he filmed that day, but he came back on set maybe just to watch.
Oh,
All
you didn't meet him?
Porn actors are. Oh yeah, we were kicking it right there. He was sitting right next to me when Francois kept on bending over in front of us.
Oh.
Did you touch it?
No, but it was like an inch away. I was like, I told Santino, dude, I'm so close to just put my tongue out. I'm so close. but I didn't. I held back.
Thank you for being professional, but
You
I probably wouldn't have been able
a
to hold
strong
on.
man, and I appreciate that because I didn't put my head on it or something. It'll help my drink. If somebody bring me a Coke, I need to sit it down.
I'd have slipped, tripped, and fell into it. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know how my face ended up there.
In my finger.
Mm.
My finger.
You know what, too, Maurice? I was that little scene I had. Now I was almost gonna be super gangster, and I was like, I didn't know the director. He probably would have been cool with it, but the meth guy, gangster number one, drug dealer number one.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if he was more up for it, I would have done it because I was like, dude, let's just kind of improvise and just like make them suck our dicks like before we blow their brains. And I'm like, you down, Doc? Let's just do this. Because this whole thing was just getting me kind of horned up. Like, I'm just going to show my shit. Fuck this shit.
Then why didn't you? This would be a whole.
See what we missed out on.
This would have been a whole different episode of summer camp.
Yeah, I know, because boy was down for it. See, I didn't have like, if it was my homeboy, he'd be like, yeah, let's do that. So, but this meth dude was kind of like, oh, I don't know about that. I was like, oh,
Maybe
dude,
because he had a small penis.
Maybe.
Probably.
Methy wasn't up for it.
No, and so he just kind of like, made me kind of like, oh, I guess not. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Might have been cool, though. Can't you see that? Like, we walk in and see that shit, we be like, bitch, suck my dick, and then blow their brains out.
Oh, my. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, violence.
I like that. I like this style of Dead Lady.
Like a dragon punch. What would be the name of that sex act?
It would be Deadly.
I just got deadly.
The deadly with the
you just got Deadly.
Deadly.
What's all my 80s music in the back? You just got Deadly.
And see, I think I was hyped too because actually, a couple years before this movie, he actually offered me a part called L.A. Gangbangers in this movie called L.A. Gangbangers, and it was going to be me and some of the Latino porn dudes, and we would have been, getting a groove on with other gangsters and cops and all kinds of shit. And the script was kind of funny. It was real funny. but he could not get back in for it. And for some reason, then he, like 2 years later, he's like, I'm back in town, Deadly. I didn't have financing for LA Gangbangers, but I'm going to get LA Zombie up the ground. I'm like, okay, dude.
Right.
But come on, man. LA Gangbangers? No, that would have been hot.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a training day. It was his version
Well,
of like a training day, Colors, Colors training day kind of thing.
Well, let me tell you something. You get that little Kickstarter going, and
Yeah, do that.
we'll make it
I
happen.
got 5 on it.
Right. I will send you a
Right.
bandana.
Right.
I will send you a bandana in every color.
I'm gonna send some money, but I need to see the scene of somebody giving you head before you blow them away. That's got to be.
Okay.
Deadly is
Gangster number 1.
as deadly. Deadly is as deadly does.
I like that. You made me number
does
1. Thanks.
everything. He's the number 1 gangster because he's gangster number 1.
If I
You
find
heard
that
of
script,
Black-
I'm
you
gonna
heard of-
send
you heard of
send
Black
you a little
Dynamite?
sample of. Oh yeah. It was kind of like that. The script was like that. I should send you guys a little piece of that script. I still have his LA Gangbanger script. It was funny.
It's interesting hearing a porn movie having a script.
They should.
Yeah.
At least have to have an outline, man.
An outline I get. An outline I completely get. I've seen a number of movies that don't have an outline or an idea.
Right.
But I mean, this movie is pretty well known, though. Did you go to any premieres or anything for it? You said you never seen it, so you just did your part and you were like done with
That
it.
was it. I posted a picture. Our audience doesn't get to see it, but on our little thing here, I posted a picture for you guys that just of me and Francois and Bruce, a couple other fools. We went there. We did have a little after party though at the end of shooting. So everyone was there. I think I just took one little picture. That was it. But that was fun. I don't think a lot of his movies are bigger in Europe, and he's a Canadian director, so sometimes his stuff just kind of goes over better in Europe for some reason.
Lord, y'all have been posting some pictures. We got us a little celebrity on here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Oh, you guys looking at it?
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at it.
Okay.
Who's the guy
Like
behind
it
you?
got quiet.
Who's the
That's
guy
why I
behind
get quiet.
Oh, I don't know who's behind me, but I was kicking it with Francois that day. I was trying to get me some. Don't think I wasn't.
I see that. It's still in character.
He was playing with me, and my emotions kept on bending over. I'm like, this fool wanted. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
it.
he was doing that on.
You should have stuck your tongue right in there.
Oh.
Oops.
I'm glad you said tongue because I was
Wrote
thinking.
wrote up an IOU and put it in there.
You should have been like bonjour.
See, I'm horrible with the sex talk when I'm painting people. So they bend over. I'm so sorry. My hand just went up your butt. So sorry. Sexual harassment. This is what I do. This is what you knew you were coming in for. So yeah, I would just mess with them so much. It's so much fun. I love bodies.
This movie had a budget of $100,000, but I don't see any sort of box office information. I'm assuming this was did more like the I don't know, indie circuit or sort of festivals.
Yeah,
sort of.
probably.
Yeah. I would think
Yeah,
so.
Bruce is kind of more indie. I don't know if you guys have seen Hustler White. That one's pretty underground, but that was good. But he did make a movie about a kid that likes sex with older dudes. Have you guys seen that one? I think it's on
Yeah, I did see that one.
What's it called?
Gerontophobia. Yeah, that was
Gerontophobia.
interesting. Yeah,
That was a good movie.
yeah, I like that.
That was probably
a really
his
good
first
movie.
kind of main. That's pretty mainstream for Bruce LaBruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked kind of, I wouldn't call it big budget, but it was very well acted too. Like the man, the young guy that played, the boy that worked in the nursing home, they seem to have a kind of chemistry, as actors. It was a really good movie. It was touching. I had no idea he was the same director as that. So, Dylan, you need to keep in touch with him. I want to see you. I want to see you on the big screen.
No, Bruce is my buddy. We still talk. I met him. There was a 24-hour installation. Now you would have liked this girl, because you could have been doing your body painting. But I met him because his room was right next to mine. See, I had a jail, kind of like I was doing Orange is the New Black before that came out. I had like a jail with all these thugs, and then you could get a jail experience. So these white people want the jail experience with black
without actually going to jail.
Yeah, they were loving it. So we threw them into jail. We booked them and everything. Threw them into jail, and they got the full thing. You could even shower with the thug in jail. Drop the soap, Yeah, we were getting deep. But his room next to mine had a guy that was. It was the whole room was. He loves blood. It was all in blood, and dude was jacking off for 24 hours straight. That was Bruce's room. Some dude that he had.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how he kept that hard on for 24 hours, but that shit. Yeah, that seemed painful. I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe he had Viagra.
And now check this out. This art installation thing was. This is crazy because I think someone fucked with my drink. They put something in my drink because I got really crazy, and they had another room where you could go make your own private porno, right? I was like, oh yeah, dude, let me go. And so the door shut. And I thought, okay, so guy's filming me. He's like, all right, Deadly, you're doing your own private porno. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm jacking off. And I'm like, fuck, yeah, this is cool, dude. Yeah. And then I get out of the room, and everybody's like, oh, Deadly, that was great. I'm like, what do you mean that was great? Well, that thing was shot so everybody could see it on the screen outside. I'm like, what?
That is awesome.
You saw me
horrible,
doing my own private jack-off session, and the dude did not tell me that shit. I was like, what? So everybody saw me jack off? I was like, oh my God. Yeah, those are some wild LA days.
Did they film it?
Well, the dude was filming it. He shot it. No, I think it was just a live feed to outside. You know what I'm saying?
No, but was it saved? Because me and Legionnaire, we're gonna find it.
See that.
I don't know if it was saved. I have no idea. But this was a 24-hour thing where it's like it was crazy. I was up on stage in the stage rapping at 3:30 in the morning, 5 in the morning. It was crazy shit. And Bruce's man was still jacking off 5 in the morning. I'm like, dude.
Lord. Wow.
Anyway, that's where I met Bruce.
Was he jacking off hard, or was he just playing with it a little bit and then
no
go at
he
it
was
hard?
Full ass hard on. I mean,
oh really?
Dude was just going on and on, just never
Is
stopped.
that a Guinness Book of World Records thing?
It had to be. I don't know if he was trying for a record, but I was like, damn. That shit
like those commercials that say, if you experience an infection for more than 4 hours, please come.
Right.
My doctor will be the last person I call, okay?
There's a number of people that are about to get satisfied.
But Francois. So is anyone like Derek? You are a fan of Francois. So what is your favorite Francois Cigars movie or scene?
It is in, what is the name of that movie? Arabesque?
I've heard of that one.
Arabesque, I believe. Yes, I like that one. He's just, I love him in those airy pants. before he loses the airy pants. And then there's another one. I don't know. I don't think that's the same movie where he does the fisting scene.
Really?
Yes.
He's a receiver or giver? I really
He
like
is
his
the
scene.
giver.
I like watching it.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
I do remember seeing him in a scene with so him and his boyfriend get kidnapped, and his boyfriend gets tied up and has to watch Diesel Washington fuck him.
Mm.
The boyfriend is sort of, being cuckolded and having to watch Francois Sagat get done by Diesel Washington, the big black
In those situations, it's never watching the boyfriend get fucked is the problem. It's watching the joy roll across his face 10 minutes after it starts.
Yeah. But it was a hot scene, and Francois, they seem to have some kind of connection. You'd be surprised. You watch so much porn, you can tell when people don't really have any kind of chemistry.
I mean, you don't have to watch.
Flaccid dicks.
I mean, you don't have to watch a lot of porn to be able to tell that. You can look at the person's face to see if they're into the scene or if they're making their grocery list.
Yeah, but you can't always go by the dicks because sometimes they use artificial stimulation, injections and stuff. So, and I can remember watching I think it was not Tom of Finland. Yeah. It was like a making of, how they make them, and it was a behind the scenes thing, and they had a bonus scene at the end, and it was like one of his hottest scenes I've ever seen. And he says, they actually hated each other. I was like, wow.
But here's the thing. That can be a good thing. I mean, you can hate somebody and bring that passion forth and make a hot scene.
Yeah.
I think it's more when you're indifferent to somebody. Oh, okay, it's you.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this over with. Legs up, legs down. How we doing?
Okay, so back to the Dead Lee story.
Oh.
So this movie was really about a hot gangster who murdered four slick it up fetish wear models. Everything looks.
This movie was gonna become about you.
Oh, I knew as soon as I knew Dead Lee was in it, that was gonna be
That's just
So, other than the scene with the four guys, I liked most of the sex scenes. The scene with Eddie Diaz was really good. I thought the second scene with the guy with the thing full of money was good. Even that first scene, I would give it without that bad tattoo would have been better. But there were definitely more hot moments in this movie than some other movies that we have reviewed.
Definitely.
So I'm looking here to see if this movie had won any awards.
It did. It won.
It won one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the award?
Best Foreign Director from the Melbourne Underground Film Festival.
You go, Bruce. Sure.
All right. So, of course, the only awards that really count are our awards. So let's give out a few of our own. And the first one I'm going to give out is the Ingenue Award. And I have there's a few people up in this category. There's Dead Lee. There is the homeless man in a box, and the unicorn. Y'all don't remember the
unicorn?
There was a stuffed unicorn in that man's box for some reason.
Was.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, so I can see Deadly and the unicorn. Okay, they're both beautiful. They're both I've never seen in real life. And I think they'd both be really fun to ride. Wouldn't you want to ride?
I think he is changing his clothes in your face.
And they probably be both very expensive to keep.
Oh. That sounds like shade to me.
No, that's not shade. That's not shade, baby. But I think in the end, I think I'd have to give the ingenue award to Deadly, right?
Yeah, I have to agree. I'm going to tell you honestly, it was a tough call between you and the unicorn, but I'm going to.
The unicorn was like, yeah.
We'd much rather ride Deadly than the unicorn. Okay. So, who was the diva?
I'm going to say Santino Rice.
Because he had a job interview.
Right, because he had a job interview in the morning.
Yeah.
That was just really random.
Extremely random. It was like, oh my random.
I remember the first time I watched the movie because I was really, I'd heard about the movie. I heard it was coming out again. Francois Sagat fan. I found the movie. I'm all excited. I'm sitting there prepared, watching it, and Santino Rice pops up on my screen.
Santino. He's a tall one.
He is tall.
Mm-hmm.
Is he cute in person?
He's cute. You know what? His personality is cute. You know, he was cool. He was just chill. Because I had seen him. I'd seen him on that show, and I'm like, oh, I thought he was going to be a prissy one, but he wasn't. He was kind of cool.
He has nice eyes. I always thought he had nice eyes.
I don't like the way he treated my Pandora box.
Oh Lord!
Do you smell this? Do you smell this?
Santino would always be like, I question your taste level. You know. Okay, so what was the kill of the night?
I'm going to say
Deadly. I was about to give Deadly another one.
I think I deserve that one. Come on, I pulled out that big gun.
Oh, look, he campaigned it. He's campaigning like it's the Oscars.
He came real with it too.
You didn't even see me hiding that big gun until I pulled it out. Like, where'd that come from?
The winner is Methy. No, wait, no. Wait.
Oh,
wait, no, Deadly. No, there's been a mistake. Deadly, you actually are the winner. Deadly, you are the winner. See, what happened is my card said best method. That's why it took a long time to read it. You know. So Deadly's racking up.
That is funny.
Racking up the wars tonight. Plus he killed the people in the scene that I liked the least in the movie, so he was good at that. So, what was the best?
Make him the hero.
Yes.
What was the best usage of a cheesy special effect? I'm gonna let Vanetta do this one.
The monster penis. The monster penis.
That
was the best. The best use of a cheesy special effect.
But I didn't like the cum.
The black semen. Yeah.
You don't like that? You don't like that molly sauce? That molly
I was going to say the magic hoodie.
It looked like, you know what it looked like? It looked like the low sodium soy sauce. The one that got the green cap on the top. You got the green cap on the top, not the red top. Because it's good to have it's good to have 600 grams of salt, but it's bad to have 800.
800.
You know,
Oh shit.
because you just want to have a little heart attack. You don't want to have a big heart attack.
Oh shit.
Okay.
A grand mal heart attack is what will take you out.
What was the out of this world moment?
Fucking that heart, maybe for me. I don't know.
That heart was, and it just kept on beating.
Yeah, that was kind
It
of
was a
like,
heart
wow.
that didn't want to die.
That was the heart of rock and roll.
It was the little.
That was so
Okay, thank
beating.
you, child of the 80s. Thank you, laughing at girl. You know, if I can mix Huey Lewis and porn, come on, y'all. Come on. I thought when he would when there would be interludes in the scenes and he looked like he would be in a tunnel or something, and the music was just so beautiful and ethereal. Those I really liked those scenes. Like they connected. They connected. And then you had that scene with the 4 porn stars in their brand new fetish wear and the white sheets in the background. I was like, Diddley, will you kill them for me? He's like, yeah. I'm like, thanks, smooches. You know. Let's do one more. Oh, the barf bag moment.
Barf bag.
The black semen.
No, I don't think that was barfy.
Oh God.
I didn't think the black semen was barfy. I don't know.
You know what's barfy to me was when he was drinking that coffee.
And throwing it up in the cup.
And spitting it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, what the fuck?
He was doing
How
a
you
lot
drinking
of-
coffee like that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was barfy. That was literally barfy. Barfy. Okay,
I didn't
y'all. So,
understand why he had the teeth, then he didn't have the teeth, and then he had the monster teeth, and that was
Right.
really it made me feel like there were continuity issues rather
yeah.
than they were creative decisions because it wasn't
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't give head with monster teeth.
You
So
cannot.
like
You know,
Well,
I was thinking that was a
I've-
poor choice.
I've had a
Starting-
couple people in my past. That's all I'm gonna say. Who had not
Not to say
been in a while, and I was a little nervous.
yeah, I think I've had some extraterrestrial zombie head myself. Talk about some monster teeth. Good, great. All right, y'all. So let's move into the next phase of this and rate this movie on a scale from 1 to 10 marshmallows. And let's start with you, Vanetta.
Okay, so I was not prepared for this movie, and the body paint was a big distraction for me, but I really liked it because there's so much penis and nice penises and good head. And because of those reasons, I gave it 7 marshmallows that are slightly toasted, very nice and warm.
All right. All right. All right, Legionnaire. What was your take on the extraterrestrial monster deck?
I will give this movie 7 marshmallows solely for Deadly.
Oh, I like that.
All right. And Derek Anthony.
All right, so I'm going to give this movie 9 marshmallows.
What?
Wow.
Oh, he loved Francois. Break it
I
down.
love Francois Sagat. So that was a good 7 right there. Like 1 for each inch.
Oh,
Wow.
And though I didn't like the gore per se, I did enjoy the artistry of the movie, even though there was severe continuity issues. So that was an 8. And then Deadly, I got to know so much about you through all of this. So that pushed it up to a 9.
yes.
Thank you, Deadly.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So I would give this movie, okay, what I liked about it, I really like these sort of dreamy qualities of it in the beginning, and how you were a little bit unsure about things. And I thought the music was beautiful. I thought the score was beautiful. I like how it switched from acoustic kind of orchestrated music to this sort of ambient electronica. I love that the sex scenes didn't have a lot of, suck my cock, yeah, and
that really bothers you.
I don't like that fake ass sound, and I'd rather hear frap than somebody trying
Yes. That is like actual music to my ears.
Right. That is what we call syncopation, rhythm, all of that, But and I like the kind of. I'm a big fan of stream of consciousness, so that didn't bother me. Some of the weird aspects of it. Like I said, there was that one scene. It's just like, oh, we gotta put something in there for the gay porn fans to get something that's purely gay porn. But then it wasn't. It was just kind of this awkward scene, which was made better because our boy came in and killed them all. So, clap. Yes, lit them motherfuckers up. You hear me? I was just like,
this is for the horrible sex.
Die. This is for the sex, But I would have to say overall, I would give it like a 7. I'll give it a 7.5. I liked it. I would watch it again. Let me put it that way. I would definitely watch it again. Whereas some other movies I would not. So I liked it. And last and certainly not least, the star of LA Zombie.
I'm now a star. Yes. You know what's funny is when people get famous, you ever seen like Mi Vida Loca? Salma Hayek's in it like for 1 minute, but then but like when it comes on TV, they're like starring Salma Hayek. I'm like, well, where?
Yeah. It's like when they make Halle Berry the star of Knots Landing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, funny. So, Dilly,
right.
Having been in it and never watched it, and now seeing it, are you proud of the work you did? Did you look at it and are you one of those people that cringes when you see yourself, or are you like?
You know what? I don't cringe. I love my fashion choices. That's what I do really like, my fashion choices. So I didn't know what I was going to wear that morning, and I think that looked good. The only thing I told him I regret is not pulling out my penis to make him suck it.
Yeah,
I regret that too.
I think we all have some regret about that.
We pretty much all we all hate you for that too. So carry on. Go on.
But knowing those guys, how hard, like Francois was really deep into it. I saw him like he was really deep into his character and this. So it came out. I like the cinematography, if anything. So I was about to give it a 7, but since I know Bruce, my homie, I can give the director. I'll move it up to an 8.
All right. Yeah. From the star of the movie himself. No, but I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it.
You know what? I did pull out my penis one time in front of Bruce, though. We were in San Francisco, and Bruce is crazy. He's just like, everybody pull out their penis. Who's got a bigger penis here? I'm like, what the fuck, Bruce? And so we all pulled. There was like a group of like 10 of us guys in the bar. We just all pulled out our penis. And then Bruce always has his little camera on him. And so he just started taking pictures of all of them. Oh, yeah, this is great. I'm like, you freak director, man. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. That's my last Bruce story.
No, it's maybe for this episode, but but we have enough now that Poppy can work some miracles. Between me, Poppy, and Legionnaire, we're gonna find some footage of something.
I want to see the masturbation.
I was about to say, and Vanetta gonna be the first to see it.
appreciate that.
Yes.
Oh.
So, this was a fun one. I had fun with this movie. But the fun can't last forever. It's time for everyone to report back to their cabins. Your bunk beds are waiting for you. Join us next time for a brand new installment of Summer Camp. Once again, here's one of our campers on our PA system with a few announcements on how you can interact with us via social media.
Thank you for the intro. Binge listen to your favorite Poppy Chula Radio programs by visiting poppychularadio.com/archives. You can also download tonight's broadcast and the rest of the series through iTunes. Just search for Poppy Chula Radio Summer Camp and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PCR Summer Camp. Follow us on Tumblr, summercamp-PCR.tumblr.com. Follow Poppy Chula Radio on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube at Poppy Chula Radio. Do you have any questions, suggestions, comments, or concerns? Email us via contact@poppychularadio.com. Help support Poppy Chula Radio financially by visiting gofundme.com/poppychularadio. Help support Poppy Chula Radio financially by visiting gofundme.com/poppychularadio. Are you interested in joining the Poppy Chula Radio team as an on-air personality or blog contributor? Email talent@poppychularadio.com. Now, back to you, camp counselors.
Thank you. My fellow camp counselors, please wish our campers and the listeners a good night.
Good night. Sleep well, campers.
Good night.
Good night. Suck my gun. Suck my gun.
Everybody dream about porn stars and unicorns.
Oh, I like that.
Orange shorts and unicorns. Love it.
Nice.
Orange stars and green clovers.
Monster dicks and monster dicks.
Shooting out black nut.
And monster dorks shooting out mole sauce. All right, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Good night and lights out.